"I used to be smart," our son blurted out one day in tears. I asked, "What do you mean?" He proceeded to show me his crumpled up report card that he had shoved in his pocket. It showed 3 D's and then an A in math. I said, "What is going on? You love science. And reading and writing a D too?" He said the teacher wanted me to meet with her. This is my story on first discovering our son's learning differences. As I walked into the classroom for the meeting, the teacher confronted me. She promptly told me he was lazy and uninterested in school. He was lagging behind the other 4th graders. He didn't turn in tests, would forget homework, and his handwriting was illegible. How could he not turn in a test? He's in the classroom. She said, "He seems depressed." My snarky response was, "You think?" But I refrained. Outside the classroom, he was happy and engaged in soccer, swimming, tennis, and more. But in his 4th grade classroom, he was a different kid. He used to be the teacher's pet in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade. But now, he was the disruptive child. While depression was the formal diagnosis, as a mother, I sensed there was much more beneath the surface. Although I didn't know it then, it was actually the first signs of a learning difference known as dyslexia. Despite the school's reluctance, I pushed for testing, determined to get to the truth. We learned that his IQ was an impressive 135. I thought the teacher was going to fall off her chair. I said, "And now he's failing with that IQ? It's 2 grade levels below his current grade." The teacher's skepticism about his intelligence was obvious. She simply never believed in his potential. Still, they said it was okay. The disparity between his high IQ and low reading level is a classic sign of a learning difference. As if this wasn't enough, our youngest son, now in 1st grade, also faced reading difficulties. But the teachers were optimistic. They said he was intelligent and with the right support would do fine. They questioned me about how often I read to him, implying that I was the reason for his struggles, especially now that I have 2 children with reading issues. He's never caught up that year, even with special help. But at least we found out early. This led me to a moment of introspection. Had I failed as a parent? I had read to them since birth and introduced them to the alphabet before preschool. But as I delved deeper, I realized that there were signs I could have noticed earlier. When my son was 3, I asked him to rhyme. And when I said bat, rat, cat, he responded with dog. He could also recite the entire book, The Polar Express, as if he were reading, but then would stumble on simple words when speaking. He would often talk around a word like, "I have that thing, it's bubble, it's on my toe." He meant blister. These are all very distinct signs of a learning difference. As we reflect on this journey, let us unite in our commitment to vigilance as parents, grandparents, and caregivers. Together, we will recognize the subtle signs, bravely voice our concerns to those who can help, and wholeheartedly embrace our children's unique and beautiful learning paths. Our responsibility is to ensure that each child not only thrives, but also discovers the power of their own voice, shining bright in the world that needs to hear them. As an author dedicated to fostering positive change, I recognize the importance of identifying learning differences in children as young as 3. This early recognition can lay the groundwork for a brighter future. Let's empower our children to thrive in their unique ways. Remember, dyslexia and other learning differences can be an advantage in the long run, but we must first help them learn to read. I now invite you to share your stories and insights about your experiences with learning differences. Thank you for joining us today. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and the YouTube channel to learn more about learning differences.